I took a trip from Palm Desert, California to Fool's Hollow near Sherlow, Arizona to do some camping. From there, I headed into Albuquerque, New Mexico to drop my son off at college. From New Mexico, after a couple of hours of unpacking and a Target trip, I headed to Williams, Arizona. On the way to Sherlow, I came across this mini Grand Canyon. The pictures don't really do it justice, but it was beautiful and I had to pull over and take some photographs. Found a great camp spot at Fool's Hollow, right next to a lake. We decided to hike along the lake and look for any evidence of animals coming out as the sun was starting to drop. Came across this crane. It made a nice flight across the lake for us. On the way back, we noticed that a bobcat had been near camp recently. We decided the next thing to do would probably be take a dip in the lake. We came across this rope swing. We headed out to the lake, snapped some shots, and I got in the water to check the depth. It really was a beautiful spot. A couple ducks out on the lake and fish were jumping. The water was pretty warm, I'd say 68, 69 degrees. It was probably deep enough to go off of a rope swing, but the swing was just too short. Chase tried to take out some knots and make it longer, but we deemed it unsafe and settled for a quick dip instead. Sun went down, we dried off, went back to camp, and headed out to dinner. On the way back, we came across something in the road. Turned out to be a 3 cow elk. There she is. Chase got a little bit better footage than I did. I got up early before the sun was up and decided to hike back into the area I'd hiked before as the sun rose and see if I see any activity. Saw a few cottontail out there, and I did see something run across a clearing quickly, but don't know what it was. I got Chase up, had some breakfast, and before heading to New Mexico and offloading him and heading back, I ran across this fella out for a morning stroll. I headed back, made it to Holbrook, Arizona, and said a quick goodnight to the wife. Up early, I was in the hills near Williams, Arizona just after 7 o'clock. I found a great spot that I'd never been before, recommended by a friend. Took a quick selfie, geared up, and headed out into the woods to see what I could see. It was really beautiful up there, and I did come across a few creatures. First was a little cottontail. I don't have a hunting license, so I couldn't take them for dinner. I just snuck up on them and got pretty close. They just stand there. I came around, found his little home that he must have hopped out of, and after coming around the tree, he wasn't going to sit like a rock any longer. He hopped off to home, and I moved on. I found some rub on some trees, and then shortly later came across a doe. There she is. She stood there and looked at me for a while. Then I found a smaller one. Later I saw something very large, and with my heart in my throat I decided to creep up on it. I thought I might have stumbled across a black bear. Turns out in these parts they just have cattle running around with the rest of the wild. So, yep, he is out there grazing. My heart's still in my throat from thinking I was coming across a grizzly. He had a friend with him, and a couple little ones were off behind him laying in the shade. That would explain this being everywhere. Hopefully one of his brothers wasn't murdered at this where I came across on the way back to the car. Probably an elk kill from a lucky hunter last year. I traveled the dirt road some more. As you can see, it's a well-maintained road. I did see a few more deer, and then I headed out to the main road and backtracked to Williams, Arizona for some lunch. They have a train depot there. Apparently they run trips on the train to the Grand Canyon. It really was a nice town, and it was a little early. I wasn't that hungry yet, so I decided to wander around a bit before having lunch. I came across some great shops and some great people. My favorite shop was an Indian shop where I bought the kids some arrowheads. They had huge antlers in there and some great pictures of hunters who had gotten some really great animals from the area. There's great messages all across Arizona, and there's great history in the town of Williams. I came across this guy when I came out of one of the stores playing with a whip. The old timer here is going to show him how it's really done. He's telling him he's got 2 in his finger. Then he pulls one more out of his pocket, whatever it is. I'm across the street filming. 2 for a total of 3, he tells him. He gets his whip ready, 2 in his whip hand. Then he goes 1 behind the back. I think he missed the one behind his back. I didn't stick around because I saw this guy in the window of another store and knew I had to go in. I found a couple cool knives at a very reasonable price, and my wife's going to give me shit right now when she sees this because this is the first time she's seeing these knives. But they were a great price, hon. I'm going to use this one on my first kill. Hopefully that'll be soon. I wandered around town some more, got something to eat. And then I headed back to California to the rat race. I'll definitely be back though. Thanks for watching.